Life can be brutal. Life can be unforgiving. If I had to sum up in one word the difference between the greats and the average, the difference between the successful and the nobodies of the world, one word, one attribute to describe the difference: discipline. If you don't have the discipline, you can forget about the trophy. You can forget about the success, the greatness. All champions have discipline. It's the discipline to work hard. You know, not when everyone is watching, but when no one is watching. When the fans aren't there. When the coach isn't there. When it's just you and your character. The discipline to eat strong, healthy foods when you have other tempting options. When those around you might not be so strong. The discipline to say no when those around you choose to be average. The discipline to keep going when it hurts. Because life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you deserve. And if you haven't worked for it, if you haven't sacrificed for it, if you haven't given your all, then you don't deserve it. And you won't get it. Push through the pain. On the other side is growth. When pain comes, that means it's time to show character. Show me your character. Remain disciplined. Stay strong. When it all seems hopeless, keep plugging away. Nothing can stop you if you don't stop for anything. Don't stop for anything. Never break your discipline. Remain faithful to yourself and your vision. When it gets painful, push harder. Push through the pain. You gotta have the discipline to do 11 when your opponent stops at 10. The discipline to keep going when it hurts. Because life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you deserve. And if you haven't worked for it, if you haven't sacrificed for it, if you haven't given your all, then you don't deserve it. And you won't get it. Show your character. Remain disciplined. Stay strong. Don't say why the pain. Don't say why me. Say try me. Say, is that all you've got? Give me more. Keep plugging away when there seems to be no hope of victory. When you don't see the results. Hang in there. Be strong. Be brave. Remain disciplined. And your time will come.
You have the same amount of time as everyone else. The question is, how will you use it? What if the goal was to grow you? Starting today, invest in yourself. Can you be the person who feels successful inside and out? Can you reach your highest potential? There is a place in life where your growth and the impact you can have on this world come together. We often get caught scanning the horizon, searching for what's next, and we forget to look at what's right now, which is you. That's the thing about this world. That's the thing about change. It will not slow down. It will keep spiraling and spiraling around you. Yet in the eye of that storm, if you let yourself recognize it, that's where you stand. I know the pressures of life will pull you. You know it too. So what if you focused on the thing that will not change? The core of who you are. Time is the great equalizer. The most incredible people the world has ever seen had to work with the same amount of hours in their day as you. Mother Teresa, Leonardo da Vinci, Einstein, Oprah. They shaped their life 1 minute at a time. So what if the minutes in your life were poured into the pursuits that allowed you to be at your best? So if you're ready, take on the challenge. Rise up and see yourself in new light. Focus on yourself. Not to be selfish. This doesn't mean the world is only about you. It's exactly the opposite. The world is waiting for you to level up. How can you use your life's work to do something special? Investing in yourself is not about pulling things closer to you. It's about pushing yourself to a higher threshold. That's how this works. You decide. You make the same decision a million times. Over and over again, you choose to grow. You choose to learn. You choose to push through the barriers you were creating for yourself. That is what's out there on the horizon. Moment by moment, choice by choice. Being the you know you can be.
When I was young, I did not know who and what I wanted to be. And so I was influenced by the things that I seen with my eyes. And what I seen with my eyes is what I wanted to become. Why do you think you need to wait until you get a little older to become the things that you want to become in life? The problem is not making money. Because at some point, we're all going to make some money. The problem is, what do you do when you make your money? Eventually, we're going to get old, real old. And it's about you. It's about you. So this is what I want to leave you with. When you make the decision, and I want everybody to hear me on this, even the adults in the room. When you make the decision to do what you want to do with your life, just know this. Because the family and the friends in your life do not share your vision, in most cases, they will be the first person to try and talk you out of what you want to do with your life. But know this, only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. So because they don't see what you see, doesn't mean that you're supposed to settle and not do the things that God has sent you in your mind and your spirit.
Because if you don't control pain, it'll control you.
I am the greatest.
We all have different talents. Some of you will be doctors, some lawyers, some scientists, some educators, some nurses, some preachers. The most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Why is it selfish? Because the gratification, the goodness that comes to you, the good feeling that I get from helping others, nothing's better than that. That's where the success is. True desire in the heart, that itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire, that itch, that's proof to you, sent beforehand already to indicate that it's yours. And anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one.
I think the greatest of people that have ever been in society, they were never versions of someone else. They were themselves. It's the great tragedy. People employed in ways that don't fully tap everything they do best in life. You don't think about Michael Jordan, the basketball player, and say, oh, he was just like this other player. No. You don't even say he was like this player plus that player divided by 2 plus this. No. He's Michael Jordan.
I hope you'll turn toward the problem of your choosing. I hope you'll drop everything. And I hope you'll solve it. This is your life. This is your moment, and it is all down to you.
always gets worse before it gets better. It's supposed to be that way. The journey you're embarking on here with MFT 28 is not an easy path. It's not for the ill-hearted or the weak-natured. It's for the strong people. And before you embark on this journey, mentally, you have to prepare yourself for it. Knowing it's going to get worse before it gets better. When you embark this journey, you must know that it's going to go down before it comes up. But when it comes up, it's going to go so much higher than you've ever been. Sacrificing today for tomorrow's betterment. Sharpening your arsenal for perfection of what you can be. But if you didn't know that, mentally, you didn't prepare for that, you think something's wrong, maybe it's time to stop. No, it's time to move even further. You have to be equipped mentally to endure this process. Knowing what you're about to go into is step one. Knowing it's an uphill battle, but a winnable one and one that's achievable. And at the end of this race, guys, you're gonna be more capable. The first step, guys, is knowing it's a tough road. But through that effort, builds the character of the person you wanna be at the end. Accept that. How else do we stay on track? We document everything. To know where we are, guys, we must first know where we've been.
Sisters and brothers, I have a dream today.
Don't get caught up in, well, I've tried it 4 or 5 times and things didn't work out. If there's something that you want and you're hungry for it, you've got to do whatever is necessary until. And when you give the best you can and that's not enough, you must do what is required. And don't give up on yourself. Don't throw the towel in so quickly. Many people give up on the 1-yard line.
Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
They were never versions of someone else. They were themselves.
If no one thinks you're crazy, you're not yet operating to the outer limits of your potential.
Doesn't matter how old you are. You can't blame your gender. Doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter how smart you are. Doesn't matter what your personality is. Doesn't matter how many strengths you have or what your strengths profile is at all. Doesn't matter how creative you are or empathetic. Doesn't matter how many years of experience, and doesn't matter how much you get paid. You can't blame them anymore. The data doesn't prove it out. Now, some people say, well, Brendan, those things must matter. I've seen studies. No, I'm not saying those things don't matter. Many of those things are very important, especially at certain parts of your life. But in high performance, it's not the study of initial success. Okay? Initial success is nice. And it's not the study of peak performance either, because at the top of every peak is a valley. I think people are tired of the ups and downs in life, and they want that steady path to growth. I'm a creator, but it's not what made me a high performer. There are a lot of people who are creative who can't organize their way out of box. There's a lot of people who are also empathetic, deeply caring, but they can't get stuff done. There are a lot of people who are extroverted who also push away people. So we can't say that any of those things lead to long-term success. But when we get it right, everything changes. High performers are more successful than their peers in almost every category of measurement you could take, whether how much they earn, what they do, how far they succeed in their own industry, etc. They're also less stressed. More success only stresses you out when you don't have the habits to handle it. Don't fear success, get better habits. That's all. High performers are prolific in their field, no matter what that means. If they're a salesperson, it's more sales calls, right? If they're an artist, it's more paintings. If it's a musician, it's Beethoven, right? It's just cranking out the product that matters in your area of expertise. They work passionately, whether you pay them high or not, because they're driven by intrinsic motivations, the care, the passion, the art, the fulfillment of what they do. They're admired and they're adaptive. They change faster, they make decisions faster. They're happier than most people, they're healthier than most people, they get better grades, and they also feel appreciated about their work. There's no loneliness at the top. They feel like people appreciate them, understand how hard they work, and they feel rewarded for it. In other words, a lot of these people you might not initially like. These people are extraordinary, but not by accident and not by birthright, by habits. We proved it. There's 11 effective habits that makes a person successful in general. But when we tried to bust it down and we said, look, can we prove that they're doing it on purpose? Can we watch it and observe it and track it and measure it? Can we change it? That's what malleable means. Is it trainable? Meaning, can they get better at it and we can show it? And does it work across domains? It works for you, your team, your brother, your sister, your mother, your grandparents, everybody that you, can it work across life? Is it universal, in other words, was our question. That broke it down then to only 6 habits, which I'll share with you now. The first one, seek clarity. High performers seek clarity before they do almost anything. They don't get clarity as if one day in life they wake up and everything's perfectly clear and they know exactly what to do. No, it's not get clarity, it's seek clarity. They are consistently seeking clarity more than anybody else. Many of you guys know I've been blessed to do some online courses with Oprah Winfrey. And one thing I love about her is every meeting she starts, her first question in all the meetings after, hi, how you doings, are what's our intention for this meeting? What's the intention for this meeting? Before the meeting starts, she wants to, not what's the agenda, who's talking about, what's the intention, what are we trying to do here? That's seeking clarity. We found that high performers look to the future more than the general population by over 70% in a positive frame. Meaning, they look to tomorrow and they say, who can I be? How do I want to interact with people? What skills do I need to develop? How do I want to serve? They're seeking clarity in those ways. And now, we all seek clarity. High performers do it more often. Common sense is not always common practice. And that's why so many potentially great people fail to ever reach their full potential. Common sense is not always common practice. High performers have made seeking clarity a common practice. They also generate tremendous amounts of energy by will. They generate energy. They fire themselves up. But it's not just generating energy by will. In every measure, mentally, emotionally, and physically, high performers peak out over the general population by almost 70%. They deal with stress 70% better. They're in better physical shape for their age. It's just like it's not by accident. They're generating the energy they need to serve in the world. They're not waiting for it. See, a power plant takes energy from one area, transforms it into a different form of energy, stores it, then transmits it. High performers do the same thing. They don't hope one day they're going to be satisfied. They make themselves feel satisfied. They don't hope to find peace after they've accomplished everything. As they're accomplishing, they're making themselves find peace. They don't have, wait for like Christmas to bring them joy. They, into each moment, bring the joy. They raise their sense of necessity. In one way, it means they have higher emotional commitment. They stoke necessity. Necessity means the difference between I should do it, I'd like to do it, versus I must do it. I know you guys are in personal development and you've heard this a million times. It's just that high performers do it every morning. They're aware of what must I do today to move the needle forward. They're very clear on what they really must do to progress, and they do it. And they do it because they've associated their internal identity with their external obligations. So they know my internal standards and values line up to make me go there. And they've set up their external life so that there's deadlines and duty to other people. It's why the military is so high performing. Duty, right? Internal standard, I'm a soldier. External standard, duty to my country. Identity, external, wham, together, then you have to do it. They do that on purpose, mentally. Start figuring out right now what we call PQO. PQO stands for prolific quality output. High performers have figured out what would make them not only effective, but sometimes wealthy, sometimes well-known, sometimes more well-respected, by figuring out what's the quality output that really matters, and then they go all in. It's the story of Steve Jobs coming back to Apple after he was fired and seeing over 20 product lines and saying, this is too much, cleared the decks and said, we're going to focus on these 5 things, that's it. That's what brought us the first iPod, then the iPhone, then the iPad, then the Mac Pro. Like all that build was because he came in, he cleared house, says, what is our PQO? And he didn't use that language, but that's essentially what we found all high performers actually do. They figure out what's the stuff that we need to produce. The root of productivity is produce. So busy work is not the same as your life's work. You got to figure out your life's work. What is the things that you need to create that will shift and change everything and leave your legacy? High performers actively, consistently are seeking to develop influence with people, and they work so hard at it. They're very, very conscious of how they're impacting their kids, how they're impacting their friends, how they're impacting the world around them. They're doing it on purpose, too. They want to be role models. Think about anybody who's ever been influential in your life. Who's been the most positively influential person in your life for a moment? Think about that. And once you have that, I guarantee you, I can tell you exactly why they were influential, because our studies proved it out. What makes somebody influential, number one, I bet that person who made such a difference in your life, they taught you how to think. Influential people are telling you how to think about yourself sometimes, about your relationships sometimes, about how you contribute sometimes, how to think. Second thing they did, they challenged you. They challenged what you contributed, what you gave, what you were capable of. They said, you're better than this young woman, you're better than this young man, you got more in you, come on, let's go. They pushed, they challenged. And third, they role modeled the way. They role modeled the way for you, and that changed everything. High performers demonstrate more courage than most people. They demonstrate more courage than most people. These 6 habits change everything. But this last piece is so highly correlated with high performance, you gotta get it. Demonstrating courage means it is time for you to tell your family what you really think, need, believe, dream of. Same with your team, same with your spouse. All the holding back of what you really want in life, in silence, there is suffering. High performers share what they really want of life. Because if you can't share it, you can't get it out there, you can't attract it, you can't move it. High performers deeply care about sharing what's true for them. And they're willing to step into uncertainty even when they don't know what to do. Maybe someone's going to reject you if you start your dream. No, likely somebody is going to reject you. But either you can look in the cave of uncertainty and go, I don't want to go in, I'm so scared. You go, what's this going to be like? And you wander in with a flashlight of curiosity. And you say, I wonder what this could be. And now your curiosity starts looking like courage. And everyone goes, wow, you got a lot of guts. And no, you're just being curious again. Sometimes allowing yourself to put yourself out there and start asking more questions, that's courage too. But at the end of the day, we've got to take more action.
Today is a new day. Today is a day for you to begin creating a joyous, fulfilling life. Today is the day to begin to release all your limitations. Today is the day for you to learn the secrets of life. You can change your life for the better. You already have the tools within you to do this.
Your first goal when you open up your eyes should be to focus on the things that ignite your spirit and bring you joy. I want you to focus on the things that you appreciate in your life, the things that you're grateful for. I don't care who it is or what it is.
You control what's in your container. You control what you think about, what you choose to allow in.
People don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to deal with reality. Why? Because it's too tough. Everyone has the ability to change the story.
Everything that you guys want is outside your comfort zone. All the results, all the growth or potential, who you really are, it's there waiting for you. But most people, they don't really want to grow. They don't really want to change. They don't really want the results. They only want it if it's easy, if it's comfortable, if it's within that realm of comfort. And they don't have to face their fears. They don't have to go through the stresses and the anxieties and overcome their limitations in life. And that's why most people will never have it. They'll never change. They'll stay the same. They'll never get the results that they really want.
You can do more. That voice in your head, if you're the only one that hears it, is it real? You got to make it. You got to give it a life, okay? You got to give it a life. You got to hang with the right people, get mentored by the right people, study the right people, stay on the course, stay on the path, no matter how bad it is today.
We knew we had to make it happen. Not getting it done was not an option. We had to make it happen.
And we all have negative emotions, negative feelings. So you have to make the choice. I'm not going to give this jealousy, this bitterness, this anger, valuable space and let it poison my life. I'm going to protect what I allow in me.
Now, today, this moment, you can choose to change your thinking. It won't turn around overnight, but if you are consistent and daily make the choice to think thoughts that make you feel good, you will definitely make positive changes in every area of your life.
You may be in a difficult time. You feel like you're being pulled back. This is not the time to get discouraged. I don't understand it. Why did this happen? No, the right attitude is, I'm coming back stronger.
You are going to get what you're looking for. So if you're looking for success, you're looking for happiness, you're looking for prospects, you're looking for recruits or clients, I'm telling you, the more you're consciously looking for those things, you're going to see them. When you're looking to win, you're looking for victory.
If you actually want something, you can have it.
Right there and then, you have an opportunity to steer your thoughts and your emotions in the direction that you want them to go, not in the direction that they're telling you to go. In other words, you can literally choose to seize the day, or you can let the day seize you.
I believe that there are two types of people in this world. There are dreamers, and then there are doers, the people that are willing to take action and make the world happen. I truly believe that all of us, inside all of us, we all have what it takes to do and to take action and to create change in this world.
Passion is a result. Passion is an energy. Passion is the feeling you have when you're engaged in something that you love. Passion is the feeling you have that you would probably do this for free, you know, and you can't believe somebody pays you to do it, you know? And I think we mistake that passion is something we do in our private lives, but it shouldn't be done, you know, in our careers, for example. And I'm a firm believer that you are who you are. And anybody who says, I'm different at home than I am at work, in one of those two places, you're lying. And the goal is to make everything you do in home and at work something that you have excitement to do. So how do you find the things that you're excited to do? Well, it's actually easier than you think. What are the things that you love to do? What are the things that you would do for free?
Your life is in your hands, 100%. And I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't care what's happening to you right now. Your life is always in your hands.